Hi, folks. It's John with Remodeling Wizards of Maryland, and I'm here today to answer another question. And thanks, folks, for sending out the questions. This question comes from Allison D. I want to make my kitchen larger by removing the wall between the kitchen and the dining room. I was told that the price depends on if it is a load-bearing wall or not. How do I know? Well, it's an important question and a good question, Allison. First of all, what I would recommend is that you have a contractor actually take a look at the wall, or an architect or a structural engineer, just to make sure that if it is load bearing or if it's not load bearing. Because if it is load bearing, it means it's carrying the weight of the floor up above that room. So if you have a 2-story house, it's carrying the weight of the second story. If you don't have a 2-story house, it's just a single-story rancher, it could still be carrying weight because it would be carrying the weight of the attic floor up above that room. So it's real important that you do get a pro to take a look at it. But let me just give you a couple tips. Typically, load-bearing walls are in the center of a home, and they run the length of the house. Now, in order to find out where the load-bearing wall is, you can go into your basement or go into your crawl space and look for a beam. So if you go into the basement and you have a full basement, you may see some steel posts that are supporting a beam up above it. Well, that's the location of the center wall, and that would definitely be a load-bearing wall. If it's a crawl space, you might go underneath it and you'll see a beam. Usually it's a wooden beam, it could be a steel beam, and it would be supported typically by stack of cinder blocks. So, and there will be several of them that are spaced out maybe every 8 feet or so. So you want to take a look from underneath the house to see if there's any beams and if they're being supported by posts. And then right above that beam on that next floor, that would be the load-bearing wall. Now, if there's a wall that's coming from, let's say, the front of the house to the back of the house, and it's going in the same direction as a floor joist, typically that wall is a non-load bearing wall. So there's a couple tips, some things you can look at least to get started with some idea if it's load bearing or non-load bearing. But again, I definitely would recommend that you have an expert take a look at it. I hope that helps. And if you have any more questions, feel free just to give us a call and I can see if I can help you out.